All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody. Vic Strisius here with you, and welcome to the journey. Very, very excited to premiere this first episode of the journey. It's going to be incredible. We're going to cover some really, really, really exciting, really golden nuggets driven and just packed of packed of value, packed of just ideas after idea after idea that you can implement in your business and hopefully take your game to the next level. All right, so let me know if we're coming across loud and clear. It's really, really good to be back with you guys here for this show. Let me make sure that we are in fact streaming, because we're doing this live, right? A lot of you guys here live with us, and you might be watching this recorded as well. So just realize that we're shooting this live, and this is going to be raw, uncut interview styles, and we're going to be talking about greatness on these episodes. Okay, you guys can hear me loud and clear? Good. Awesome, awesome. I'm just looking at your comments over here. Great to see you, Rick, AJ, Claudia. Okay, Bart. Sweet. Okay, you guys, I'm personally stoked about these, this show in particular, because it's not just a show just to talk about stuff. Okay, this is the show to where I'm privileged enough to be able to interview some people, right, that literally started out from just like all of us, right, from the bottom. Perhaps didn't have the money, perhaps lived, on the streets at one point in time, right? Perhaps didn't know how they would make the ends meet, but against all odds, right? Against everything, they persevered, and they did it in this industry. They did it in online marketing, and so my personal why I'm so excited about this is for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is going to be unscripted. There is no agenda here. There is no bullet points to cover. This is totally raw, uncut. And what I'll be doing is I'll be digging in to try to uncover as many of those golden nuggets. How does somebody go from being broke, from rags, right, over to riches? And what were some of the breakthroughs? How did they do it? And we're going to get into the actual marketing strategies and techniques, and specifically what worked, specifically what didn't work, the kind of lessons they learned, and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys are just as pumped as I am, and we're going to have these on a weekly basis. So every single week we have a new episode coming out. So I am very, very excited to have the first power couple here with me in the room. I'm about to introduce them to you guys. Anybody have any idea who these people are? That I didn't announce the names yet, but any of you guys can guess who these might be? These are the people who, over the last, I'd say probably a couple of months or so, about 60 days, pulled in over $300,000 in personal commissions. They have generated millions of dollars online, probably over, I think, he told me, which I'm going to tell you the name here in just a moment, over $2 million as an online marketer. And this is somebody who went from being broke, right, to this level. How did they do it? What's the journey, man? What's the journey? How can you replicate it? How can you apply some of those principles and ideas? Okay, so you guys ready? So look, I am very, very, very excited to present to you our first power couple that I wanted to dig into their story on the journey, and this is Justin and Dee Verrengia. Welcome, you guys. You guys are on the show.
Glad to be here, Vic.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Dee, you're like beaming all the time. Justin, you look awesome, man. Great to have you guys.
Pleasure to be here, man. We're just excited to share, help as many people as possible.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this, man. That's it. So let me take a look at the comments. We're doing this live, man, and I love interaction. Like, if you're watching this, you guys, let me know your thoughts as we're discussing different things. If you have questions, if you look at that, Jen is saying, "Wow, bride smiles, love it, love it, love it." What up? What up? What up? So here's what I want to do, man. Justin, Dee, I wanna dive deep. You guys have no idea what we're gonna talk about. I didn't pre-frame you. We literally just got on the call here like 2 minutes before we went live, just to kind of test the video, make sure that you guys are streaming. But I wanna go deep tonight, and I wanna know, how did you do it? What's your story? Who is Justin and Dee Verrengia? How did you guys do it? What's your journey? And then my job as a host of this show is to pull out some of those golden nuggets from you. I'm going to have my newbie hat on, right? Maybe I'm somebody who's just getting started in this industry. Maybe I am an online marketer. Maybe I'm an affiliate marketer. Maybe I'm, building a team. Maybe I'm selling my own products. But maybe I'm somebody who's just running into brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And I'm like, dude, how do I do this? What's missing for me? So I'm going to be that guy for you guys tonight, right? Let's start from the beginning. Who is Justin and Dee? What's your story? I personally don't even know that. So if you can take us back a little bit.
Dee, do you want to take us back?
Well, how far back do y'all want to go?
How far in the time machine?
Well, how far down the rabbit hole? Let's start right when we thought that we were going to float on millions in the real estate industry, and it literally crashed. What brought us here to the internet in the first place?
Yeah, for sure. So it's like life right now is like crazy. It's fantastic.
I live off the water in Florida. We have a beautiful home that we own. Our car, we bought it cash. Life is good.
I'm excited because next week we're going to New York. My cousin's getting married. We just got back from a wedding for Dee's cousin in Miami. And then literally end of September, we're being interviewed by
Kevin Harrington and just a lot of really great people, some names that you'll know on that space. And so we're really excited to get onto another level of media as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then we're going to Europe for literally 1 month to link up with our dear friend and fellow 4%er, Saj P.
This is really cool too, because it's the first time we've ever been able to, in our careers, support the team internationally. So we're really excited about that.
And we have this 2-year-old. She's everything to us. We only have one child, unlike Vic, who has 6.
Yep.
So Vic is Superman. I don't know how he does it, because our daughter is definitely a handful. But we're taking her with us to go to Europe. We're going to start in London, then we're going to go to Amsterdam, then we're going to go to
check out several different spots in Italy, France, Spain, and then end it back in London with our dear friend Saj.
Yeah, and it's so cool because we started traveling internationally with our daughter Kuan Yin from a very young age. So she's already spent a lot of time in Bali. She spent a month there traveling on the other side of the world. She stayed in Panama for over a month. So it's cool to raise your daughter or child to be a global citizen.
But life wasn't always this way.
No.
It was
So I want to know, I mean, you guys now, it's if I'm looking at you right now, right, not knowing you, right, if I'm somebody new, I'm like, dude, you guys are living it. You guys are you embody what online success looks like now, traveling, you got a kiddo, you provide the best that, you're the best for your family that they deserve, right? I mean, financially, you're on solid grounds. You've made over $300,000 over the last couple of months. How does it feel, by the way?
It's totally surreal, and it's it's a reality. Earlier I took a shower before this, and after I was in the shower just smiling, oh my God, we did it. So it's still kind of hard to fathom.
Very much so.
Because we have come a long way. I mean, we started, when I first met my wife, I was in the real estate industry. Things were going well because real estate was booming. It was at a time where it was almost impossible not to make money. So I started my journey as an entrepreneur as a real estate appraiser, basically working for knowledge, ultimately almost working for free, working for very little.
Wait a minute, can any online entrepreneur relate to that? Working for knowledge? Come on now.
Just to learn the skills from what it takes from a certified appraiser, so one day I can be certified, have my own company, and that's what we ended up doing. After being, a trainee appraiser for 2 years, we acquired the skills that were necessary to take our certification, started a real estate appraisal firm called Just in Time Appraisals. The best name ever. Don't steal that name, Vic. And then things were great for 2 years. We did well. and then the whole entire industry just collapsed.
Yeah, it was horrible.
We owned 4 homes, and we ended up $500,000 in debt, unable to afford any of them.
In our primary residence, we had actually built it up from scratch. You know, we chose the floor. We, picked and designed the layout. We, chose the actual lot in the community because it had the best view of the lake. And to watch, all of that and be humbled, it was really, it wasn't like we woke up and we were like, humbleness, the internet. We came across a book, and you can tell them more about that.
Yeah, so everyone here, I hope, has read it, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss.
We didn't even read it. We listened to the audiobook.
We bought the audiobook. Like one night, Dee and I just listened to it all night, and by the morning, we purchased one-way tickets to Costa Rica to escape our hell of a reality, being $500,000 in debt, being very young.
But I want you to also understand our mindset, because Justin is quite analytical when it comes to like the finances and what we'll need. So he had already calculated if rent was going to cost us, X amount of dollars. We'll need this much for the next 6 months that we can sit there and study. So It wasn't like we had all this money in the bank. Remember I said the industry collapsed on us. They closed out on 4 homes that we couldn't afford. We literally had people coming into our house from Craigslist to buy, all of our stuff, all of our items and possessions that we had literally held so dear. And to go from that to, people walking through the house and asking me, why am I getting rid of this stuff? And I'm like, I'm moving to Costa Rica. And they're like, well, are you insane? A little, but I need to do something different.
Right. And a big lesson there was letting go of our debt, letting go of all our personal belongings, and not being attached to anything. It hurt a lot, going through it, but it was exactly what we needed to start over again, and separate ourselves from that disaster that we dug ourselves into and be able to start afresh. And that's exactly what we did.
And also, because we didn't have that nest egg, I'm just trying to help you understand our mindset. We went to Costa Rica to work. We knew we needed internet access, and we needed to watch tutorials, buy courses, go through programs, but that was our intention. We needed to get to work. And there was no, what if this doesn't work, or what if this ain't for me? We couldn't afford the house. We just left the country, bought one-way tickets, packed 1 bag each, and this was it. So there was no, a lot of you were like, yeah, this is it. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, all right, the front cover of, something else. Yeah. And I think that's a really great point to understand about our journey. We were positioned not to fail.
Yep. So, Vic, to answer your question, that's how we transitioned from real estate to online entrepreneur, because I was sick and tired of the real estate industry. There was a lot of corruption going on, we're all well aware of, and I didn't want to be any part of it. I didn't want to end up behind prison, or something crazy like that. So I just left it all together and started something brand new from scratch.
So what happened next?
Wow. Oh, a lot of downs.
Yeah. So we joined the business, and we said, we're going to figure out this online thing.
Yeah.
How long ago? What year are we talking right now? How long ago about is it?
This is 2009. If I was to guess, around 2009, and right now, so it's been quite a while, man.
Okay, so this is where you stepped into the internet marketing world, and the community that we're a part of right now. Yeah. This is literally when you got your start.
Exactly.
And so you got your start, if I'm hearing you correctly, you got your start literally being, just moved to the Costa Rica, 1 bag, nothing really, more than that, as naked as you can probably be, metaphorically speaking, and you wanted to. Why internet marketing? I mean, what pulled you to this industry? Why not something else? I'm just curious.
Great question. Internet marketing, because after reading the 4-Hour Workweek, we were hooked, and we said we want to be able to travel around the world. It has always been like a dream of ours. That's why we currently, still do it to this day. And we said if we can have a mobile lifestyle where all is required is internet, a laptop computer, and if we can earn a living doing that, that's our dream. It's exactly what we wanted to do.
And I'll never forget it too. Justin went on a cruise. He was, one of the top earners in a traditional network marketing company. And he went on this cruise, and I'll never forget, you said he met a gentleman who was the top earner. And it wasn't like he told you a formula or all these things. You know, he's producing the most new recruits, he's creating the most sales, and all you did was ask him how he did it.
Yeah, so back at that time when I was on that cruise, I was building a traditional network marketing business, and that was before I realized you can build it using the internet.
Yep.
And so I went on that cruise, I met this gentleman, and when I asked him, how many business opportunity meetings are you doing every week? And we're just having a candid conversation, and the gentleman basically says, 0. And I'm like, because all I know at that time is like, the only way to recruit people is to do business opportunity meetings, you know, because that's like traditional network marketing, and it is a way to build.
So he literally told you one thing, one word. What was it?
The internet.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
He went home, and he was a new man. It's not like he sat there and gave him a specific strategy. All he shared with him was the possibility, and that was all he needed. Next thing you know, we're listening to this book. We're in Costa Rica, and I believe something that a lot of people have a hard time doing is letting go. And I believe that process of, you know, literally purging everything in the house, what we couldn't sell, we gave away. What we couldn't give away, we gifted. It was like, you know, emptying our vessels and going there brand new, to the point to where it was like every time we gain new information, even till this day, we are not in a space of like, oh, we know it already. We're like, wow, what else could we learn? You know, and that, I think, that type of gratitude, that energy, I think just helps you attract more abundance, because, you know, we have, you know, you just said it, it's like over 300,000 in just, you know, a couple of months. And that's insane to think about. But, you know, when you start thinking about the action, the knowledge that's applied, all of the communication that we make with other people, you know, in our day to day, it begins to make sense. You're like, oh, wow, you know. So I think it's just becoming, you know, grateful, just in a space to where just because you have learned something doesn't mean you know it, and always just be willing to grow.
Yeah.
So internet marketing is a space to where a lot of people aspire to succeed in this space, right? Everybody's coming in here with this, you know, pre-frame that, look, I'm going to have this amazing lifestyle. Life is going to be incredible. I'm going to travel. I'm going to make tons of money. You know, everything's going to be great. And statistically, you know, statistics show that 94% of people make less than $100 a month. Okay. Yeah. How did you guys break through? How did you, okay, so you started online, you got inspired, you saw the big possibility, the big vision. What happened next? I want to know, what did you have to go through? What kind of lessons, if there are any? And how, you know, how did things progress? Were you immediately, did you hit the jackpot right away, or was there some bumpy roads?
Great question. So I got home from that cruise, and I researched like how to build a business online, and I came across an education platform. It was about $3,000 or $4,000. It was all the money we had left that we took from the commissions we were earning in that company, and we invested into ourselves to learn basically internet marketing. And here's the ironic part of the story, Dick, is like, so we belong to all these classes on like how to do this online, how to do this, you know, social media, ad copy, so on and so on. Want to know the class that shifted my entire pretty much paradigm, that I believe is still one of the reasons why maybe I stuck through this long, hard journey, because it was a very bumpy road? It was the mindset class. It was my favorite class. I would listen to the audio live, and then I would get the recording, and I would listen to these audios as I was sleeping, like reprogramming the unconscious mind. This is when the personal development bug kicked in, and it was that sort of training and personal growth that was like, it shifted my entire mindset to where failing became impossible, because I was so uplifted and I knew the infinite possibilities of what was possible from hearing all these success stories. And it's like every success story is like similar. Someone started from the bottom, and because of their mindset, their tenacity, you know, their willingness to fail it forward. Eventually, they figured it out, and I had that attitude that no matter how long this takes, I will figure it out, and I don't care how long it takes. You know what I mean?
My journey is so different than Justin's. So different, because I was not on a cloud meditating with unicorns. Like, hey, I'm just being honest.
She's holding the crystal, though.
Like, hey.
So wait a minute. Is he doing that? How do you look at that?
Completely different. I was like, that's good. That's nice. You do your little class. We need Money. Okay?
Right.
I was like, listen, I'm going to figure out how to build websites, because I thought at the time wealth was created online by creating my own service, business, or product. So I thought I needed to be that person in the forefront. So I had started learning how to code websites and create banners and images. And I started working with other entrepreneurs. I would make deals with them like, hey, I'll do your website for free and I'll give all of your people a discount, if you recommend them to me. And in doing it that way, it taught me a really great skill. Now I know a little bit of HTML, but I think too, it brought me through a realization that many people go through when they're online. We believe that, we have this idea or this vision or this product that's going to change the world. And so we are so stuck on it that we fail to realize that in order to get it out and publicize the way that we envision, we need to develop new skills in marketing and promotions. But, we fail to realize that because we're only focused on the product or, our service. And so that was what I was doing. I was so focused on, trying to figure out my own product or service that I failed to see the beauty in having a system like the ones that we have now. It's like, for example, I'm thinking about all the things that I had to master. I had to master email marketing. And I didn't have any templates to go through. I was sitting there, writing out emails, just thinking what, they wanted to hear. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was also creating my own pages, which now I understand why I made so few sales, because I had no idea about conversions. Sitting there and going through and creating my product layout, for example, even something as beautiful as the membership area that we have now, the usability, the way that it reads, the way that people are able to just, just by a glance, our unconscious knows, okay, this color means this portion of the menu. You designed it that way for a reason, and people fail to see all of those things unless they've taken the time to create it. Even the light system that we have up here took me months to figure out because, when I was first learning how to create lighting, I didn't have the money to go out and, buy the top lights or just, when I was watching the video and they were like, oh, use your softbox lighting. I was like, whoa, buddy. How much is this softbox lighting going to cost me? I literally was mapping everything out, trying to figure it out myself, take off the lampshade off of the light, off of lights, just so that I could use them in the room because I figured out, like, listen, I may not have that extra $100 to do it this way now, but it's not going to stop me from getting it done, developing the skill set and practicing more and sharing what I know. So that's why I say my experience was like a little bit different because while he, was focused on all of the analytics and the breakdowns, it's like even till this day, he's the one who sends out all the emails. But what do I focus on? Setting up our cameras, our mics, getting our videos set, making sure that we have a team that works with us. But it all started from being humbled enough to realize that, you know what, Dee, you can't do it on your own. And thank goodness for systems with people who have more knowledge than I do. And I think that's when my journey took a toll. And that's when I realized, took a turn. And that's when I realized the power of personal development because I was now able to get outside of myself and just hear and be a student.
So he is developing himself. You're watching from the side. You're like, I need some of this right here, right? I need some money, man. I need some money. Take me back to how did you guys generate your first sale online? What was that breakthrough?
Yeah, and we got to travel back in the time machine again. I recall generating my first leads, where the sales came from.
Yeah.
Doing a YouTube video Basically, the technique was this: you do some keyword research.
Yep.
You find some of the terms people are searching for,
Right.
and then you put that term in the title and the description. You put your lead capture page there, and it's like you basically give them exactly what they want to know more about. So if the title was like how to make money online, I would talk about, you know, hey, it's Justin Verrengia, and this is how you make money online. Let me show you how I generated like 5 leads yesterday. This is how it's done. And basically generated some leads from that video. And I actually have a formula, which I still use to this day. Yeah. It's very simple, but anytime I shoot a video, I just stick to a simple formula. And still to this day, Vic, video is our most powerful form of advertising.
Hands down.
Video is what like separates us from everybody else. Yeah. And the formula is so simple because most people have no idea like what to say when they're on camera. So if you don't mind, I can share a couple formulas with you. I think they'll really
absolutely go for it. I want to know the, you know, tell me where the rubber met the road for you guys, right? How did that first sale come from? You know, were you selling your own product? Were you selling somebody else's product? What was that first breakthrough for you guys?
Yeah, we were selling someone else's product. I wasn't really getting into, I was so caught up on trying to make capture pages and send out emails and do all of these things, it prolonged my process of actually making the sale. So thank God that, you know, we were in a company that was online and we were able to start producing sales and, you know, using their systems that way. Do you remember?
Yeah, totally. And it's like, here's where the success all came from. Content creation that is valuable and serving people, giving them what they want. So I'm going to break down 2 formulas. I want you to take notes. I know I don't have a whiteboard handy. However, if you have a notebook, mental notes, you know, on your computer, whatever is good, here's what it is. Because the biggest concern that I had as a newbie when I first started shooting videos was, what do I talk about? Where do I get content from?
What am I going to say?
You know what I mean? Exactly. So here's the formula. Learn. I was plugging into so much personal development from, you know, Esther Hicks, and Bob Proctor, and like The Secret, and like Napoleon Hill, all, you know, Dale Carnegie, Earl Nightingale, all these greats, like on a daily basis. So I was learning a lot. So I realized I'm learning plenty. I should have plenty to talk about. So here's the formula. Learn something new, the same way you're learning from this interview right now, right? And then do it and implement it. So for example, if somebody shows you like how to, you know, do a mindset hack to like collapse time frames or how to generate 5 leads online, do it, go implement it, get the result. And then once you have a result, I'm telling you, this is $1 million formula, teach it.
Yeah.
Every time we get an amazing result, we document it, Vic, snapshot. You know, you go to our Facebook, you'll see this all day long.
Yep,
and then we share the results that we got. And no matter what level we're at, even if we were just generating $20 making our first sale, or we're generating hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions, we always use that same process because it always works. So the formula, learn, do/implement, and then go teach it, because when you teach, you become an authority. Vic, I love you so much, man, because anytime I plug into anything you're doing, I get so much value from it. You build such good rapport with us that we just want to buy stuff from you. regardless what it is that you recommend to us, I feel really comfortable buying it because of like this formula I'm sharing, that you're the authority because you're teaching something that we want to learn. And so the breakthrough for me was realizing that I had more than enough value inside of me, you know what I mean, from reading books and personal development, that I should never be shy on a camera. Anytime a camera comes out, there should be something, at least one idea that I can share to help inspire people to, you know, give them help make them a better day, or help them get by, or, you know, inspire them to keep going and not give up on their dreams. And so that was a game-changing formula. Now there's a video formula, because video has absolutely transformed everything that we've done. And when you shoot a video, you know, this is what you want to do. Step 1, pattern interrupt. Something stupid.
That was an example. Maybe not that precisely. But.
Yeah, that might scare some people. But hey, I guess it works for her audience. I don't know. But another thing is like, whoever you're targeting, your first sentence should be about it. So for example, if I'm targeting, let's say Jim Rohn, because he's a legend, I'd be like, before I read my first Jim Rohn book, blah, 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 I'm always going to put what they're looking for in the very beginning, in the meat, you know what I mean, of the video. So that's another idea. But let me give you some ideas of pattern interrupt. What we utilize the most is a hypnotic background. Right now, we don't really have a hypnotic background, but if you go watch our videos, like our ads, we're typically outside in nature, in front of beautiful mountains,
or moving,
motion, or the water, which is moving, so it's very hypnotic. We live close to a beach here, because we actually live on the water, and Clearwater Beach is 10 minutes away. So oftentimes we'll go to the beach and shoot our ad videos specifically in front of the water, realizing it's like a pattern interrupt. It's hypnotic, you know what I mean? And anybody can utilize that.
Dude, this is such a great idea and a great nugget. It works. This is so good for somebody who's like, dude, I don't like my environment. I'm new. I don't have the big house. I don't have the big fancy car to shoot a video up against, right? So what do I do? So what you just shared is a golden nugget. If you guys are, picking this up, go to nature, right? Go to like a park or go to like a forest. Use God's given backdrop, right? That we all have access to. So great stuff. Move on.
So like she mentioned motion. One of our most engaging videos for our bridge video was in our neighborhood. It wasn't even a really super nice neighborhood. It was like a decent neighborhood because we just lived like normal life driving a Hyundai even when we were making $30,000 a month.
I thought it was a beautiful home. It was 2 stories, very lovely.
It's beautiful, right? But it's not something we're going to do a tour and show you a cribs, version of the house. It's like
I would.
maybe. So, but anyways, I was just in the neighborhood, just regular 2-car garages, typical Florida neighborhood, and I was pushing Kuan Yin, our daughter, who was maybe 6 months young at the time, and I was just walking my daughter and talking to the camera, and Dee was actually like filming me, and it was the most simple thing, but we realized one of the best pattern interrupts is motion. That's why Hollywood creates motion pictures to hypnotize you and put you in a trance. So from the time, that first scene, you're just like, whoa, I have to keep watching this movie.
Every scene's always moving. There's always something, switching or angles. So instead of having multiple cameras and investing in all this equipment that you're going to have to learn and take the time to master, it's like take the one camera that you have now, make sure that there's good natural lighting, use God's glory, and go outside and walk or sit in front of the water and let nature do its job. It will captivate the people. They'll hear your message more importantly, and you'll have the opportunity to engage more of them till the end of your message, which is really your whole intention, right? It's like you want them to be able to hear your message. So it's just a couple of things that you can do to make sure that they do.
Yeah, totally. So and the pattern interrupt can be it doesn't have to be long. It can be, you have approximately 8 seconds to grab their attention before they're forever gone. So just do something out of the ordinary, outside the box. It could be humorous. It doesn't have to be humorous. But ultimately, I like to just do the opposite of what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Right? So if everyone in your niche market is shooting videos in their parents' basement, just go outside, go to the park, do something totally different, and you'll disrupt that pattern and you'll capture their attention. The second part of the formula is content delivery.
Yeah.
Providing valuable content. Sharing a gold bar or a gold nugget. You know what I mean? You want to give them an example of one?
I just feel like a really great example is some facts and data. A lot of people are misinformed when it comes to doing business online. A lot of them don't realize that when you're talking about traditional business models and the online business entrepreneur, for example, one of the statistics that I read says that more, funding for private institutions And foundations are done through online business owners and the nomadic business model than it is done through traditional businesses. And it could be for a number of reasons, but it's like where you have an industry where, you know, the government literally regulates how much or a percentage that they need to go and donate or go and spend. And then you walk into a business model or a space where we're all encouraged to step into our power. So when you give someone, you know, that strength and you uplift them to do that, and you watch what they generally do with their money, it's quite inspiring to read that, you know, more online business owners donate and give back to the community as opposed to the traditional business owners who are just allocated a certain percentage to do so. Another great, you know, I feel like content piece is, you know, helping them see a paradigm shift within where they're currently at or where you were and where they can be. So, for example, you know, what your mindset was like, you know, the first time you earned, you know, $5,000, you know, your first $5,000, or, you know, the first time that you crossed $10,000 in a month. And the reason why, you know, to someone that may be powerful to hear is because maybe they didn't know that you were only earning $2.50 an hour. And so literally on the books, you only made $16,000 a year. So to go to have 1 month of $10,000 is life changing. How did it change my life? Well, let me go ahead and show you. And you can start talking about the mindset gems and the ways that your life has changed. I'm not talking about the things that you can buy, but the things that more people, you know, are interested in, because the cars and the houses and living on the water, who cares? What they really want to know is, how do you spend your time? The fact that you're able to just go and spend a month off, you know, in vacation. The fact that you're able to just have the resources to pick up and go. The fact that you're able to, you know, stay with your daughter every single day, as opposed to having to go to a job and putting her with a nanny. I think people see those things and those paradigm shifts, and they begin to say, okay, I can do this myself. So sometimes you're looking for monetary result to flash and to, you know, to share, which is great. You know, we're the first ones to do that. You know, go check my Facebook wall. I'm all over it. But at that same time, we understand what the people truly want when they do come to our pages and they seek that information. So that's what I like to use as my content piece. I like to time in with emotion, with you know, what some would call a pain, because perhaps they will see me or hear me, or, you know, stand, you know, I'm a Black woman standing beside my white husband, and they may not see the struggle. Perhaps, you know, in their world, you know, this is impossible, or perhaps, you know, he was already wealthy and I just, you know, jumped on the boat. And so I think it's really important for them to see that I am human. You know, I was a waitress. I was earning $2.50 an hour. On the books, I literally pulled in 16 grand a year, and my tips weren't that far off, you know? So it's like, to go from that transition to, wait a minute, now, you know, they're hosting events, they're going on live, being interviewed, sharing with people how they transitioned. I think these are great content pieces, sharing with them what you've learned. And that's why that strategy is so important. Learn, do, teach, you know. The man that Justin was when he was a real estate appraiser is not the same man in front of you today. So that's what I think is important.
Here's what I want to know. What did you guys talk about? What kind of content did you talk about prior to having your success, financial success online? You got started, you didn't have any success, you didn't have anything, you know, pretty much nothing to your name. You had to build literally from scratch. You said your breakthrough was shooting the videos, right? Yeah. So what did you talk about at that time before you made your first sale?
That's a great question. Yeah. We talk about the success of other people in like whatever company. Back then, back before we knew any better, we would always promote the company. We didn't realize that people are interested in people and that we should be promoting ourselves. And regardless, whatever opportunity we're promoting, people are going to want to be a part of that. So that was a big thing. But talk about the success of other people. Yeah. So for example, we have no success story. Leverage off the success of others. You know, I'd be talking about whoever's making money in like whatever the industry is. I would talk about their success. Maybe I talk about the success of like, you know, there was like an MLM hero when I was younger. Her name's Danny Johnson. She's still around. Excellent trainer. I would buy her audios. I would talk about her success. You know what I mean? I would talk about the success of women on the cover of Success magazine. You know what I mean? Leverage off the success of other people is a great way to start. And also, if you don't have success, speak vision. What is your vision? Because people are attracted to vision just as much, maybe even more than success. They want to know where you're going. So anytime we do something, it's very, very important to us. What is our vision? And to talk about it, because it attracts people into it, because most people, unfortunately, don't have their own vision. It's very sad. And, you know, there's a quote where, you know, it's where there is no vision, the people perish, right? People need a vision. And as entrepreneurs, it's not that difficult to create your vision. Even if it's like a crazy vision, right? Because all of our visions have been crazy, so big, you know, we don't know how we're going to do it, but that's what our vision is, and that's what attracts people to us.
Yeah,
love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. That's a really, really, really cool tip that you guys gave out. By the way, can you see me in the video, or is my video off for you guys?
We don't see you, but it's all good because we hear you.
Okay, good. I know, you know, viewers that can see me, but I didn't know about you guys. Okay, cool. So let's move on. So there was, you know, you shared the two tips. So pattern interrupt and content, and you were just talking about how you deliver the content. What's the third thing?
The third thing is a CTA, a strong call to action, telling them precisely what to do next. Because if you don't tell them to do anything, what will they do?
Nothing at all.
Yeah. Can you give us an example on the spot, Dee? Because she's so fantastic at it, of a call to action.
No, you can do the call to action.
Okay. So for more information about, you know, the law of attraction secrets that I have used to transform my life, go ahead and click the button right below in the video description, and I'll get you free instant access to, you know, this free video training I did, sharing with you precisely how I went from like struggling with the law of attraction, unable to figure it out, to, you know, putting all the pieces together and now manifesting abundance. Go ahead, click that button right down below. I'll see you on the inside.
Yeah.
So you know what they want already, because you're shooting the video, you know what their pain points are. So now you're offering the solution in the CTA, and ultimately when we're doing video ads, click the link in the description down below. Yeah. Something very similar to that. And it's that simple. It doesn't have to be a 2-minute CTA. It can be 10 seconds. Works really well. And we've tested everything. When we don't do the CTA, and also, I'm going to give you another tip we do in all our videos. Not only will we have the verbal CTA telling them to click the link, we'll have it come up on the video, like at the end of the video. Click the link, you know, below for more information, or get free instant access. Click the link now. Because if you do it, you know, you have auditory learners and you have visual learners. If you do it for both, it'll just be even better.
Yeah, and I read some statistics that stated that people actually watch videos generally twice. They watch it once without any sound, and then if they like what they've seen, or they actually watch it to the end, then they'll watch it again and turn the sound on. And I thought that was incredible, because I'm like, wait a minute.
You're talking about you're talking about Facebook videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Facebook.
Awesome. We're getting some questions. I'll ask you guys some questions, but first I have some of my own questions for you. And again, I got my newbie hat on, man. So let's go into that rabbit hole. So you're shooting these videos. You know, you're talking about stuff that you're learning about, right? You're calling. You know, you're putting that call to action into your videos. Are these YouTube videos? Obviously, back in 2009, 2010, Facebook wasn't.
Yeah, before Facebook, we were just strictly YouTube, maybe a little MySpace back then.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. How walk me through, what were some of the biggest breakthroughs that allowed you guys to scale? I mean, did you just blow up just like that? Just like shot your first video and immediately you became, you know, quote unquote successful? Money's flowing to you. What was it like? What did you do? What was the grind like for you guys?
Yeah. So a lot of small victories in companies, a few thousand here, a few thousand there, companies going under, starting all over again. Did this like 4 or 5 times in a cycle like this. And then where everything like completely shifted was when we attended our first industry events and we got to meet hundreds of similar entrepreneurs who had these crazy dreams and visions. And I'll tell you what happened, Vic. Even though I thought my belief level was high, it wasn't until I got to that event where I believed that I can do it regardless. You know what I mean? And we went from like struggling at that time, and this was back in 2012, prior to that event, struggling, barely able to afford our rent, living in a 300 square foot studio apartment we were renting out for $450 a month in Guanacaste province, Cocoa Beach, Costa Rica, which is the most northern province, borderline there with Nicaragua. And we were living there, like, and times were tough. We didn't know how we were going to get by the following month, but we went to this event. Everything shifted. Within 30 days, we had our first $30,000 month. We went from broke and struggling, Vic, to $30,000 a month, and since then, we've never earned less money than that because of the belief inside of ourselves from getting around similar people who are just as crazy as us, to believe that they can achieve some things that most mainstream would believe is impossible. And since then, it's been a crazy journey, my friend.
So for me, I wanna take a pit stop here for a sec, and discuss what you just said. So you went from your success was you had a massive explosion, but you did a lot of work prior to that, a lot of developing yourself, a lot of getting around the right people, adopting the success mindset, right? Making sure that you don't put yourself in situations that can backfire on you for what you want to do, right?
Yes.
What
because
like
it kept
when
happening
you
over and over. We were 100% dependent upon a company
Yeah.
because we didn't know any better. And so a lot of online companies, they don't last long. You know what I mean? So when things hit the fan, it's like we're left with nothing and we have to start over again. It's like we would hit like, 2,000-3,000 a month residual income, lose it all. Get back, a new company. It'd take us like 2 years to get up there. You know what I mean? It wasn't overnight riches, but attending that first event, I realized we were playing too small. And there was a lesson I want Dee to touch upon about speed of implementation, which transformed everything for us.
Yeah, I want to go back though, because I feel like it's incomplete. If I could just be honest, like I'm like,
give me the whole thing, man. Give me the complete picture.
Yeah, like,
that's what I want to know.
Like he just went like this, and was like, all right, 30,000 a month, woohoo! We went to an event, but it's like, we literally, it's like, compared to like now and where we are, and just earning like 300,000 in like a couple of months, it's like whoa. But back then, I remember being damn happy about where we were at and the fact that, like, for example, we had developed a skill set called joint ventures. And a lot of people don't know this about our journey. Justin and I, we sat in an office kind of like this. Like, you see that computer? So let's say Justin was at that computer. And then I was like where he is, but behind him, and I would be on the computer on the other side, just working. And what we were doing was a technique called joint ventures, which is funny because, his initials are JV. So it's like JV, Justin on the JVs, JV on the JVs. It was just funny. So anyway, we started doing this technique and we were calling radio stations. And we would basically tell them, what was our commission, like 1,000?
I think at the time, $3,000 commission.
And we literally were like, all right, here's what we do. If you run this, during your dead air space, which most stations have dead air, where, no advertisers are paying to play and they just have empty space. So it's like, instead of just, leaving it dead air and you have to fill it in with your host, why not play this and we'll give you half of our commission. We had a really cool, what made it all work actually is, it's a technique that can be used till this day, but what made it all work is that we actually had a tracking system that was designed for JVs. So we could give them their own username, their own password, and they could go and see the hits, and all of that on their own. They could see, that the sales and all of that. So that was a really important piece to it. And we literally would just call radio stations. He would take one side of the country, I would take another. He would take one state, I would take another.
It took like a couple hundred calls to get our first deal, but then once we had one radio station joint ventured with us, they just started lining up because we'd call their competition. It's like, we're already running ads with them, this is the deal, this is the offer. So we just hustled basically our butts off.
And until I finally got onto a station that had like 1,500 like mini stations, and I'm just like, finally.
But here's the crazy part of that story. So we must have been getting, like, collectively, we had like 30 radio stations running our ads for free, not spending a dime, but the system did not convert. So even though we had like $50,000 worth of free ads that we didn't have to pay a dime for, we weren't making any money, and that didn't last long because they weren't earning any money. So, but it opened up the idea that if we got creative, and here's something we learned from a Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you can help people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And that's what we learned from that lesson. So still, even to this day, I believe we have the most remarkable team who work with us, and that's what separates us from a lot of other marketers. But it's because of our vision and being creative, creating deals where, like, you know, maybe we didn't have money to run traffic, but maybe offering something of value to them that can help them, and in return, like what she was saying earlier, building them a website or doing something, doing some sort of barter or trade to help each other get what we want. And even to this day, we do have joint ventures with incredible people that make our life very, you know, very, very simple.
Yeah, it's real cool.
Love it, man. What you just, that's another golden bar you just dropped in here. So you said the offer didn't convert. So I assume, well, I'm not going to assume anything. Let me ask you, was this somebody else's offer you were running? Was this your own offer? At this time, do you guys have your own products, or are you still running as affiliates for somebody else?
Funny, true story. When we first got online, we created our own products, but we didn't really know how how to market them.
What was your product about? Just curious. So what was your product about?
Because I'd always, you know, like talking to people and just developing relationships. So I realized that by offering my services, I could, you know, get really close with people who I perhaps wouldn't be able to get close to because, you know, they're up there. So it's like, but wait, I can provide this service for them, and I can be in a position to where I can learn more from them. So when we actually, that's why I said, like, you know, he just went like that and he missed out on a lot of things, because when we attended that first event, it's like, yeah, we were sitting in the back of the room, but we were sitting in the back of the room because we were skeptical. But we had already been online for so many years that literally I had, you know, been meeting people for the first time in person, that I had, you know, built their websites for over 4 years. And now I'm finally meeting them in person. So it was like one of those things too, that you had to step into the reality of like, wow, this is real. And the only way that I'm ever going to be able to see that is by getting my butt to the event, shaking hands with Vic, giving Justin a hug, high-fiving Dee in the hallway, like actually getting there, because there's something that happens to your belief level. There's something that happens to your persistence. And there's also something that just happens to like your BS meter, you know? Everyone thinks that they have like this meter that will just tell them if something's like a scheme or a scam or whatever the case is. But what I've noticed is the people that are quick to call something scams are the people who never invested in taking the time to watch the videos, go through the training, show up at the events. But why is the person who shows up at the events never the one quick to call something a scam? It's because they've invested into themselves, and that's the bigger picture. The scam is not the opportunity. The scam is the fact that you haven't realized that the bigger picture is you investing into yourself. That's what makes this industry so different. You can make money anywhere, but that's what makes this so beautiful.
So in other words, what I'm hearing that you're saying, and you guys, hold on a sec. I want to make sure that you guys can see me here. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna. Here, we're gonna take a quick break because I want to put myself on the video for you guys as well, and for you friends watching this. Okay, you guys see me on the video back or no?
Yes.
Am I back? What's up?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we'll come back to you here in a moment. For you, my friends watching this, okay, in the comments, okay, tell me if this stuff makes sense to you, okay? Also tell me if you have any questions for Justin and Dee, and I'll be answering your questions, okay? Or asking those questions for them, and they'll be answering them for you. Here is what I want to know next. I want to know how you guys scaled, okay? I also want to know what were, like, you're basically saying, like, okay, we went from trying, developing ourselves, and it's like this, right? And then all of a sudden we were in the right time, or in the right place at the right time, and boom, we blew up, right? What were the 3 biggest lessons that you can share with me as somebody who's a complete newbie, complete novice, that wants to make it, in this space? Let's see if when we get Justin back here, he's taking a water break probably or something. Yeah. Yeah, this is great stuff. That idea, Dee, that you shared about JVing, it's out of the box thinking, because most people, don't take the time. They'll think to themselves, look, if I can, if I don't have the money, well, I'm kind of, I'm out, right? Yeah. But what you guys did is you thought creatively enough to come up with a way to get on these main, media channels without having to pay anything for them. So Justin, tell me, what were the top 3 lessons, as your journey was like, okay, you were preparing, you were doing all this work. What do I need to be focusing on when I'm in this grind right now, preparing myself for my breakthrough? What are the top 3 things I need to be focusing on?
You say it all the time, Vic, results. So we have to think, what are the few things that are going to get the best results? And from my experience, content. Like, content is the king, right? So our top types of content, video and stories, are 2 types of ads we run on Facebook. We've made millions of dollars with. Video ads, you can use the formula I shared with you earlier, both of them. And the other one is, we call them long hypnotic stories. And they're stories where they're targeted towards our niche audience. Mm-hmm. We're speaking to very specific people. And one example, my wife Dee, her audience is completely different than mine. Do you want to tell me more about your audience, because you know them so well?
Yeah, I feel like my audience is who I am. It's the greatest place to start. I know what is going on in my mind. I don't know what's going on in his mind, so it's where I start. And I feel like my audience are women who are driven, who have like that natural born hustling side of them, the ones who are like, yeah, we can sleep with the wolves because they know we're a lion, but we have no direction. We have no idea where to start. We have all of these great ideas. Give us a mic, we'll sing. But it's like, where's the stage? Where's the platform? Where are the audience members? And so I think that's where it began for me, is like finding who my target audience was. They're women who are passionate, who are driven. We just need a little bit more direction, and watch us soar. So that's who I spoke to from the very beginning.
Right, because once you know your audience, you can contemplate what are their biggest pain points that they're going through right now. Maybe 2 or 3. What are the biggest ones, right? And then what's the solution? Like in the ad, the solution is always click the link and to get more information so we can help you with that problem. Yeah. But that's the thinking. So getting really good at creating valuable content people love. Not only do they love it, but they will share it because they love it. And when they do that, it creates something called viral sustainability, where we'll have a video ad, and then like Dee's ad will get thousands of shares. And it's like people are actually sharing her ad because it's so value-driven. She's speaking to her audience, and when you know who you're speaking to, you can have an emotional connection with them.
And just so that you understand, like, the mind of most of the people going through your content on most social media networks, so I'm talking about Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, we're talking about these networks, right? The things that they're willing to, like, put on their own walls and share are going to be one of 2 things: really, really funny, or something that they feel that their audience needs to know. You need to hear what Donald Trump just said. You need to hear, you need to see this alien invasion. You need to, it's like those are the only things that they're going to share. And so I realized, like, talking about my success was cool, but if you pay attention to my fan page and what I share, it's, we speak about other people's results because it's more inspiring for them to hear about someone else's results than it is for me to, talk about my own. And then I go through and I talk about the pain, the story, the paradigm shifts, because I realize that the more vulnerable I am, which is why I went back to talk about the JVs, because, we would sit across the room from each other hours a day on the phone with JVs. And then because we were still building a traditional network marketing business, but we were trying to, figure out how to do it online, we literally were meeting up with clients internationally at night. So it's like, where was your time to take time to think for yourself? That time was as we were listening to the audiobook. So going back, it's like, now what do we do? Still focused on the same thing, video, long hypnotic stories, but the ones that get the most shares, the one that have the most viral sustainability. When I log into my Facebook, the content that I posted 6 months ago is the one that I was the most vulnerable in. So the moment that you can just get outside of yourself and you can just be real, is the moment that you will start sticking to people, which is the reason why, Kim Wiley shot a video, the other day in the group, and everyone is commenting it. The last time I saw it, it had over 200 likes. I don't even know how many comments. People are so inspired by it. Why? It's not that she's going there talking about a direct result, which she is, but it's her energy in it. It's the fact that she was vulnerable enough to say, like, hey, I sat, on my hands for 2 months. 2 months. I didn't do a thing.
Yeah.
Until finally my mentor said, get up, call support, and get the information that you needed. And I literally got set up within 2 days. Wow. That vulnerability shocks people, because what happens in their mind is they're watching it, they're hearing you say that story, but in their mind, they're really saying, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is gold stuff, you guys. And there was a question I saw coming from Sebastian here. He's like, what story do you talk about if you're brand new, right? And so you just answered that. You say you create content by just, hey, here's what I've learned. Here's what, you can always borrow credibility, right? By edifying somebody else or talking about somebody else, or, I was just around this leader or this person. Oh. Here's what I've learned. I want to share with you. Now you become the source of, now you're disseminating the information, and thus putting yourself in the position of power. Love it. So okay, so you guys now, you're members of the 4% group, obviously. How long ago?
I'm sorry, say that. Oh, how long ago?
You're in the 4% group right now, right?
I think it launched about 2 months ago, maybe less. I honestly don't know, man. It's not that long ago, though.
You were one of the pre-launch members.
Beta testers.
Yeah. The A team, invitees. What attracted you guys to what we do here? Been around the block. Obviously, you guys have seen a lot of things. What are you doing here? What attracted you here? And I don't want to dig into some of the things that you're doing currently that's working for you.
And the dead honest truth, bro. You.
Yeah, a bit.
Like, we've known of you for years. Never had the opportunity to work closely with you.
The conversions king.
Right. When it comes to conversions, no one that we know in this industry, and we've been in this industry a long time, can convert.
No one comes close, hands down.
The way that you can convert. Yeah. So when we saw the opportunity to work alongside of you, we're like, wow, all we need to do is create content, bring them into the 4%, and check it out. The $300,000 plus that we made, like on the back end, we did zero selling. It was just plugging them into a system, and then the system is doing everything for us, which makes us able to go a month in Europe and basically build a business and enjoy a life at the same time. So you are the main reason. We want results at the end of the day, because the biggest challenge I've ever experienced is when your team don't succeed.
Yeah, I want y'all to understand, like, I'll go back a little bit before that first event. I had actually, the reason why I was so focused on my services is because I actually was like, man, forget this industry. My team's not succeeding. I'm making sales. These people can't win. I'm not having it. At least then if I make a service, I'm happy, and I felt like fulfilled with that. That's just the dead honest truth. So to us, like when you talk about systems, it's a lot more than just a system that converts. It's literally our gateway to help people to freedom for humanity. That's always been our vision. That's always been our bigger picture for anything that we do. Helping as many people in humanity reach freedom. Freedom for humanity has always been the intention, always will be the goal. So when we talk about conversions, to us, we're talking about the opportunity to build a team of people and actually give them the tools, give them the resources to succeed. I'm not going to cry, but I'm telling y'all, it means a lot to me to be able to have a system that I can say, if you'll actually follow it, it will work for you. That's why we're here.
Yeah, because what plagues the industry is people, like even company owners, they don't understand advertising and conversions the way that you do, Vic. So a lot of people struggle, and even a lot of people we think are leaders earning a lot of money, it's like a facade, and it's like no one's getting conversions. And it's like, it's everywhere is like that, you know what I mean? So we saw this as the opportunity to dive in, build a team that actually stands a real chance to succeed. It's not a lottery. I understand not everyone's going to have success, but if you work at it, you know what I mean? You plug into like all the resources we have here, the tools, you follow Vic, you follow, you know, exactly what we lay out for you, you have a really good shot at really making some, you know, good income here.
So what you guys do is you pre-frame your people and then just basically turn them over to what we do here, which is we have a systematic way to converting people into sales. Is that basically how you generated the last, over the last couple of months, 300,000?
Yeah. So look at it as like, well, I just want to be 100% transparent. A lot of the people who joined us that made up that $300,000 were from people who have been following us for years, just looking for the right timing. They saw.
But they went through the page that fit.
Right, but they did all go through
what
that.
I want to, So what I want to ask you guys, and we didn't discuss this before, but I think it would be. I'm just gonna put you on a spot. How's that in front of like thousands of people? So listen. If we have the system here in the 4% group, and you guys are currently at the time of this interview, you guys are #1 income earners here within the group, within the 4% group. I would like to know this: would you guys be open for us to do like a webinar or like a series of trainings on specifically how you pre-frame people? What's your method? What's your road that you take people through to pre-frame them, get them ready, and then turn them over? So basically, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. What are you doing on a conceptual, what is that word I'm looking for? On a consistent basis to convey people into, from prospects or from ads, cold traffic into sales that you guys are getting, which obviously your results speak for themselves. Would you guys be open to doing like a series of webinars for our members in the 4% group?
Yeah, I'd be open to it.
Awesome. Yeah, totally, man. We do it just to pay it forward and share what's really working for us, because we've been building this business very systematically with just setting things up, you know what I mean, creating the content, and things are just flowing really well.
And to be honest, like Justin shared most of it with you guys already, like the video. It's the video. We don't really bombard them with a lot of content. The truth is, we actually, the intention is not to give them so much content, because if you give them too much, now they've, got all this stuff in their mind. They got to take time. They got to, go talk to their husbands. I'm dealing with women here. So I'm like, oh goodness, I don't need to give them any more information than the information they need. So I just point them into that space by using the pain story, the video he lined out. And I just let it roll. I'm there for questions. I'm there in messages. We send out the emails that you send, but I don't want to make it seem like we have some super duper like we are really like not that, you know, like we're not that great, to be honest. We're just darn good at following directions.
Well, what you guys do is you just keep things simple. I mean, that's really your power, is you just simplifying things. And I want to know precisely how you do that. So, but I'd like to do that for members, you know, for members of the 4% group, obviously. And in just a moment here, we're gonna end this particular show, and then we're gonna, you know, because we have members of the 4% group here watching us right now. So we're gonna have a conversation with them as well. For the person who might be watching this interview, this particular episode, Justin and Dee, you know, and they're looking at like, okay, man, I'm at a crossroads. I've got, you know, I can go here, I can go here, I can go here, you know, and they're possibly looking into, you know, I hear all these things about the 4% group, about all these crazy success stories. Should I join? I'm a little skeptical. What would you tell to that person? What would be your advice or a nugget or something that you can tell them?
Well, I think it speaks for itself. Like, being a 4%er, it transcends like business and financials. It's like, I want to be a 4%er and level up every area of my life. So if it resonates with you, it's beautiful. If it doesn't, you know, we're not here to, you know, force anyone.
Yeah.
It's just like, follow your gut.
It's not the 85%, it's the 4%.
Right?
You know?
So we do make it clear we're not looking to work with everyone. We're
Yeah.
looking to work with the right people who really resonate with the message. You know what I mean? Keep it simple.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, you guys, congratulations. You guys are crushing it. You got multiple income, you know, streams activated here. You got money coming to you from different directions. I wanna have you on this webinar training series that we're gonna do for the members of the 4% group, to just really get down to, you know, here is what we're doing. Here is our formula. Here's where they're at, because that's how I teach stuff. You know, dude, here's what we do. I'm gonna talk to the person watching this right now. You know, you might be a member of the 4% group, or you know, you might be somebody who just came across this video or this interview. This is one of the things that I want to do, is I want to take real people with no script, with no bullet points, and just kind of see where the conversation goes, right? Just to see how, because look, average, ordinary people are making it, right? And so our vision, the reason that we exist, the reason we put together the 4% group, is to say, you know what, we believe that no matter who you are, no matter where you're coming from, no matter what, you know, how many times you failed in the past, you deserve to be awesome. You deserve to have the lifestyle that Justin and Verrengia has. You know, if it's traveling, if it's just giving back to the community, if it's just buying your kids nicer things, you know, you can do this. That's why we exist. And we focus on two things, my friends. We focus on simplicity and results. Whereas everybody else, you know, they seems to be, you know, focusing on complexity and theory, right? You get a lot of theory. Here we focus on results and simplicity. You know, if you're watching this, if you're not a member of the 4% group, I invite you to check it out. You've got absolutely nothing to lose, I think you'll be very, very impressed with what's going on over here. So, with that being said, I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you inside. All right, so you guys, we're gonna cut this, and then I want to talk to the 4%ers right now, because we're still live. So let me take a look at the comments here. Let me pull this up. Hold on, you guys. Hold on.
Hey, do you want us to disconnect from Skype?
No, you're good, man. Actually, I want you to stay on for a little bit.
Cool.
I want you, if you guys can. Is that okay? Okay, good. So, great idea for funnel video. So what we're gonna do, you guys, we've got over 500 people in the room here live right now, still. So all of you guys watching this, the intention for the Journey Show. By the way, what did you guys think? Did you guys get a nugget or two? Was it valuable to you? Is this something that you can take for your business? The intention for these, right, is I want to bring those stories, and we're going to do one every week, right? So there is twofold. There is bringing value to our community here in the 4%, okay? Bringing value to you guys. Love it. You get Justin, you guys see this, the comments going on?
Oh, no.
We don't have it up. We'll pop on the phone here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody love it, man. Everybody love it. A lot of nuggets. So, number one is delivering content to our group in the 4%. Okay. Number two is we're going to take these interviews and we're going to be building standalone funnels. So each of these interviews will be transferred and transitioned into a funnel that you guys can email to your list. There's going to be a page with your link, right? With your, you'll be accessing that in the members area. And you can drive traffic straight to here. It's a good content. People will get good value. And of course, if they become a member of the 4% group, you'll get that credit. So we're going to be putting out some really, really good content into the marketplace. So this would be perfect for like email follow-ups or, Facebook ads or just creating, a little capture pre-frame page around it, and then sending people to watch these interviews. So it's going to be great. Okay. You guys excited about it? So, Justin, I asked you guys this question live, and I said, would you guys be willing to get on the, like on a live webinar? I mean, I was that serious, and this was not like pre-planned. We didn't talk about it. I literally just came up because he's talking about all he's doing is just pre-framing people and getting them to see the funnel. That's it, right? So how you guys are doing it, and I know it's not complicated, but if you would, maybe we can start a series on how you guys are doing this kind of stuff. That would be valuable for the entire group. You guys want to hear that? If you want to hear that, let me know in the comments here. Yeah? Thank you so much, value. I would never have access to this as a newbie. Okay. Love it, love it. Great idea. Okay. So we'll do that. Justin and Dee, anything you guys might like, what's on your heart that you maybe could share with somebody who just joined us? Maybe today or yesterday, or they're brand new. Maybe they're a little skeptical here. Maybe this is their first. How many of you guys here, this is your first webinar ever? If that's you, say I, so I can see you. What would you guys tell to that person? I mean, they just came on board. What would be your best advice to them?
Well, and this is what you want to avoid, is overwhelm. This is probably the biggest dream killer. Like, people are all excited, and then they're just like, I'm going to do everything in the world, and then tomorrow they quit because they got overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. Vic mentioned earlier, results and simplicity. Plug into, Operation 100K, and just have the patience to, like, keep it simple. There's an art form in keeping things simple. It's actually difficult for certain people to do, hence why they overcomplicate everything. But just note, we have your best interest in mind. Our success comes from helping you succeed. Our success helps from, helping you build your success story and leverage off of that. So I know we're in good hands with Operation 100K. The content back here that's filled up in the back office, it's top notch. And I haven't met many other company owners who are in the trenches with us, which I respect. Like a real general back in the day was fighting the war with their troops, not sitting behind an Oval Office, treating them like pawns. You know what I mean? It's like he's in the trenches with us, marketing, and he's a real marketer, right? So it's like mad respect, Vic. It's like we know everyone here is in good hands. Yeah. Just plug into the training. When you get caught up or you feel, you got a question or a concern, ask it in the group. You have like over 2,000 members here to support you and uplift you. You know what I mean? And there's like, I have some good advice for you. And Kim was a great demonstration of it. Yeah. It's like, be there for the other people. Look at the questions in the group, figure out the solution, or maybe you happen to know the answer to the question. Do a tutorial and just inspire and teach the people. You already belong to a community. You can rise as a leader so easy by leveraging that community, right? A brand new person could just go in there and be like, ooh, some people have questions on bridge pages. Let me Google what that means. Let me learn how to do it. And now let me go create a tutorial showing others how to do it and then sharing it. And then the community is going to uplift you. It's not difficult to be uplifted within a community like we have, where we have diehard people in the trenches with us every day. And again, Kim was the perfect example of that. So step up as a leader, inspire others, you know what I mean? And just keep it simple.
Whoa, I just turned the video on. Awesome, brother, appreciate that. How do you guys like this this layout, man? You guys like it? You guys dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it?
Yeah.
Pretty sweet, man.
Yeah. Good. Awesome. Justin D, appreciate you guys. It was great hanging out with you. All of this stuff, going with the flow. I love it. I don't want to give people questions ahead of time. I don't want you to think, okay, what am I going to answer there? I just want to hit you with a question and, and see which, how you're going to answer it. So, you guys are.
Can I end on one note? It's my favorite Bruce Lee quote of all time. And it basically embraces what you just expressed in a different way. Is that cool, Vic?
Yeah, go ahead, of course. What is it?
Don't think, feel.
Oh.
It's like a finger pointing away at the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory.
Love it, man. Love it. Appreciate you guys. Stay strong, man. You guys are crushing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you're on the right track. Everybody, I appreciate you. I will see you guys. We have coolness coming in this week. We've got funnels coming in. We've got, how-to tutorials. We've got, this is between now and end of the month. As I call it, shiki boom is going to happen over here. So, you know what I mean? I'll see you guys on the next live webinar. Appreciate you all. Make sure to check Facebook group often, okay? Facebook 4%, all spelled out. Just 4% in Facebook groups. Make sure that you're part of it. And we're hanging out there almost on a daily basis, okay? With that being said, this show is a wrap. I'll see you guys.
Peace.